Yo, Rana. Welcome to FM Tahiti. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, we've not actually played any matches between the last video and this one because we're getting into the December kind of run-in. And this is where, if we're going to make a push for the top two, we have to kind of make it now. As you can probably see from the league table over here, that there's a bit of a gap. So we're 10 points behind first, 9 behind the Humpbacks. It's almost impossible, I think, for us to actually get in there. It depends whether this January match, is played in time for the sort of, whatchamacallits, the draw, that's it. Played in time for the draw, so that depends on that timing. So I'm not going to bother checking whether it is or it isn't, simply because I always get it wrong. Every season, without fail, I always get the date wrong, even though I look at the calendar to see what's going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the Manuea match, I'm going to play the Bora Bora match. I won't play the Hitiraa match on camera, and then I will come back for the Taha match in January and play that in another episode. And by that point, we should know, or we might know a bit beforehand. We might know before I even play that Taha match, but by then we should hopefully know whether we've made it. What we need to do is have at least one of the other sides drop enough points. I'm not hopeful, just because even if we win all of our games, we really are relying on a bit of a swing elsewhere, so I think it's pretty much done. But some interesting matches. Marquesas Society had a good run, but now they've dropped down to 8th, and then we'll have Bora Bora, who are kind of consistently 6th, and who drew against last time, and we lost against Manuea as well earlier on at the start of the season. Something's also changed tactically, which I'm going to show you too. So first of all, I want to make it very clear, I'm not taking credit for this tactic in any shape, way or form. It's based heavily on a tactic in the forums that I've altered slightly. I've got two versions. One's altered a little bit more than the other, but it's by Mr. E. Rosler on the SI forums, and it's his 541 tactic. I started building it, and then I ended up building something that's very similar, so I just actually went and used his and then made changes around that. The reasoning for going to a 541 is simply because if my strikers aren't great and they're not scoring a huge amount of goals, what I might try and do is just prepare for lower scores and more clean sheets. We've only had 7 clean sheets across about 20 odd matches this season, so actually if we could improve the number of clean sheets, we should shoot up the table a little bit without needing to improve our striking options. Because I did have a look around, and there was one player who was willing to come to me, who was a 29-year-old Austral Island striker, Ben Nathu, who was rated as being slightly worse than Kalai, who's our best striker apparently, and he didn't look great. The most he'd ever scored again was 12 league goals in a season. So he didn't excite me. So I thought, well, actually, until we get good strikers, or a range of good strikers, let's rely more on our defence and our midfield, where we've got a bit more strength, a bit more in the way of options. And then in the off-season, if we manage to get more people in, and we sort the striker situation out, which we'll start scouting for now, then we can go back to a 4-4-2. Or a 2-striker formation. We might play around with something different. So what we have in this version is the version 2, which is the one I think works better for this kind of level. We've got 5 at the back, obviously. Sweeper keeper, full-back on attack, another full-back on attack, ball-playing defenders in the middle. And this isn't because they're technically strong, but just because ball-playing means they're going to be doing more passing, more creative passing. Then we've got inverted wingers, so they'll pull on the inside and end up supporting behind the striker here, and the fullbacks will bomb on, hopefully. Not as much as they would do if they were wing backs, but they bomb on a little bit. We've got 2 box-to-box midfielders they're going to shuttle backwards and forwards and cover the centre, and then we've got a target man up front, so this is kind of all swapped around. There we go. Looks a little bit better than it was. And the target's there to kind of hold the ball and hopefully lay it off to these wingers who are attacking. Hopefully this plays to Manuel's strength as quite a good attacking option in midfield. The other version is very close, like very, very close to how it was originally set up, which is with complete wing backs. They're more attacking and a pressing forward rather than a target man. I've got it as a kind of backup. I've altered a few instructions here and there, but nothing huge. Just because we've got it works well on the forums apparently, and also because the pressing forward is a role that quite a lot of our strikers can do as well. So if I've not got a battering ram up front, and this is where Tamangara is going to come in for this match, then at least I can go to the pressing forward option instead. So there we go. So it's not my tactic from scratch or anything like that. I kind of altered the idea, but the concept was for me to think about having something that's maybe a 5-4-1 or a 4-5-1 instead, which I might make for the next match actually, and put Kerr behind a striker, for example. We'll see. See how this goes, because this is the first time I've used this altered version. I'm not convinced that they're particularly strong. I think they had a good start to the season and now they're kind of regressing to the mean. Still not changed the shirt. You know what? Let's just stick with it now. So Tamangara getting his first start in a while. See what we can do with this. Yeah, the other option would be to have Kerr just playing in the hole behind a striker. What role exactly, I'm not sure, but at least then it might mirror what he's doing in the international side as well, which could be quite useful for us. Humpbacks are drawing, so they are dropping points technically. So AS chance. Ideally we need them to both lose. That would help us close the gap. Chance, Humpbacks, Moria and Huahine to lose would be the way forward for us. I think Moria and Huahine are actually playing today though, so there's that. The Chance and Humpbacks are now in the lead. Not much going on in this half, but Frey's got it now. Ball has gone long to nobody. So far, I'm not convinced. They're keeping hold of the ball quite well. They've got Rush, they've got Molina. It took them a while to work that shot in. So Tamangara's motivated, but he's not actually played much football recently. So once we've done the team talk, what I'm going to do, go to the tactics, swap it to the original, and bring Wallace on. I just realised I've got 3 strikers on the bench, which is a bit unnecessary for a 1-striker formation. Bring Wallace on because he's been scoring well this season. He plays pressing forward a little bit better. Let's see how we do here. It was almost a perfect Route 1 attack for them. Free kick. I thought that was going to be a penalty then to them. Long ball. Wallace is through. Almost. Kerr. Well, it's from a dead ball, but it'll do. It will definitely do. Oh, they look like they're going through. Cynical. Send him off. Massively unnecessary. It gives us a bit of an advantage. Moved up to 4th. Joint on points with Moorea, but they've got 2 games in hand on us. Currently stands. Humpbacks are dropping points because they're drawing against Bora Bora. Still 7 points ahead of us as it stands. Spearling. Back to Spearling's going to go in again. Wallace. Right, let's get Renard on. And Minan on as well. Let's get some width. Well, not width, but fresh legs on the wings. Long throw in, but no one quite there. Renard, almost. On Spearling, put someone through. There we go. 2-0, reasonable. One of them coming from the striker. So unless they suddenly score one, the tactic's kind of done what we wanted it to do. It's actually managed to keep a clean sheet, which means the fact that our strikers only scored 1 goal and then we've got one goal, from elsewhere with the free kick, means that's enough. That does it. So if you keep a clean sheet, then you don't need as much attacking output to get those points. Which works for me. So we'll come back for the next match. We won't play the Mutiny Trophy match. We'll come back for the Bora Bora match instead. So we're back for the next match against Bora Bora. We won the Mutiny Trophy match 1-0 right at the end of the 90th minute, something like that, which has taken us through to the Mutiny Trophy final, which is great news. Gives us a chance to win some more silverware, even though it's not a massive competition. But we're going to get back to the league with this Bora Bora match. So what I've done actually is I was talking about a tactic to try instead. Maybe something that would have Kerr play just behind a striker. So actually I decided just to put it, I've got it on the version 2. I thought I'll save it actually. But actually Kerr's suspended for this match, so I've put Wallace in there instead. If need be, I've got Tia Hutt who could put on there, or I could put on and swap him with Spearling or something like that. Frey's injured, so Minan's on. Got Tamangara as the target man, so we'll see how this goes, but hopefully this again means with the one outlet maybe we can still keep possession. Might be a more attacking version of the one we've just done. Actually, it comes down to I'm not quite sure why I've done this. It doesn't really fit in with the whole idea of having a clean sheet with 5 at the back, but it's an alternative solution to not having a huge amount of prolific outlets up front. I basically changed the inverted wingers into wingers. Fullbacks are on support now. And it's right at the end of December, so lots of contracts need renewing. So once I'm off camera, I'll do lots of renewals, I think, to try and keep the core of the squad together. I'll start doing a bit more scouting as well to see if there's anyone I can nick to bring over. Humpbacks are against Taha. Chance aren't playing for this one. Moorea aren't playing either. They've still got a game in hand. And the humpbacks go ahead. Should never have signed Luca Bar for them. One of the things I was thinking though, with this sort of 4-4-1-1, if I use it and it helps us grab a goal. Just over. Yeah, if I use it and it helps us grab a goal, then I can always essentially do like the smash and grab and then go back to the 5-4-1 instead. And invite them on a bit and see if that helps. Yeah, I don't think the humpbacks are going to lose their match. I think this is us definitely, without a doubt, out of the early qualification. It just means the season will be a bit shorter. We miss out on the chance of getting a bit more money, but we're not quite there yet in terms of winning the early yellow. We were so close last season. It just means we need to rebuild more ruthlessly. And we're not quite getting there. Passing around. I have a feeling they're going to go along. Go on, Kaiser. Ooh, this is working. Oh, Minan. That was a good move. Quite pleased with that. Saved by Smith, who's carrying an injury, which I hadn't noticed. Well, I've forgotten. Don't think I've got a keeper on the bench. Generally feel like it's a waste for the rare occasions where you end up with an injury or a red card. Tamangari, he is good as a target man just because of his size. Manuel, nice. That's worked. I don't think it's necessarily worked because of anything to do with the changes in the tactic. I think that might have happened whether he had two up front or one behind the other. The Manuel peeling away, I think. Really, Spearling's tired. Yeah, Spearling is quite tired. Okay, let's bring Taya Hutt on for Spearling. Let's bring Lookman Chidi or Wallace in that Trecartista position. He's an out-and-out striker, but because it's got the attacking role on, it just means he's lurking in that kind of hole. Taha trying to fight back. Yanin with a brace. It would be so tempting to take over somewhere like Taha or a Moria, just so you can play with Yanin and the others. How old is Yanin now as well? 28. He's only got a few seasons left in him, really. What a record there. Sorry about that. Penalty. And ball. This Chidi. Oh, I missed. Hopefully we keep it together for the last few minutes so that doesn't have an impact. Let's bring on Lenzini on the right. William Lenzini. Just a youth prospect, he's nothing special, but give him a few minutes here and there. Lenzini's free, back in, gets the assist. What a sub. Tamangara gets his first of the season. Actually quite like this tactic now. It's getting Tamangara scoring. It's got to be good. Tamangara trying from the free kick. That was never going in. He's actually pretty good at free kicks, but I don't think he's actually got a good record. His attribute's good, but his scoring record from free kicks isn't. Good win. So there we go. In terms of the actual form we're in a really good vein of form. Beating Bora Bora, beating Manuel in this video. Back in October is our last loss, and that was against the Humpbacks. It just means it's probably not enough. We were so off the pace to begin with. I was still 7 points behind second place at least. It could be even more. It could be 10 by the time that AS Chance play. And Moria have got game in hand as well, so we're not as close to this kind of fight as we'd like. But we are in good enough form that we could make a push for the title. I just think we've mistimed it for the O-League, unfortunately. But thanks very much for watching. We'll end this here. As always, thank you for liking and subscribing. If you enjoyed it, please have a look at my other stuff. Have a look at some of the stuff I've written on Dictate the Game as well, or listen to the Dictate the Game podcast, which I'm on sometimes. And I will see you for the next episode.